you, and thank you for having us coming here to Helsinki to tell about the architecture policy. Quite near, yes. To tell how we work on architecture policy in Viborg in Denmark. Mange tak for, at Viborg må komme her til Helsinki og fortælle om arkitekturpolitik i vores kommune. I'll switch back to English. I have prepared to fulfill this in English. So. Something is happening here. This shows our city hall, by the way. The main focus in my presentation will be, first of all, what we find essential in our policy, and secondly, how we try to turn words into action. We are actually rehearsing at the moment. And in between, I will show you some examples. Many of you might not know much about Viborg, so I will just present some facts. And where it's situated here is located in the center of Jutland, not far from Aarhus, which is the second largest city in Denmark. And we have an area of 1,409 square kilometers, which makes it the second largest municipality in Denmark. And we have approximately 96,000 inhabitants, of which the majority lives outside the city of Viborg. And for the last couple of years, we have experienced population growth. Last year, it was 750 people, so that also gives us a good development for the municipality. And for the municipality itself, it is mainly agriculture land and a very beautiful nature with woods and lakes and rivers and heaths. And we have 85 towns and villages, whereas Viborg is the main city with 40,000 inhabitants, and the second main city is Bjerringbro, which also is known for the headquarters of Grundfos, you might know about. For the city of Viborg, we experience a 1,000-year-old history, and today we benefit from the location by the lakes of Viborg and a rich cultural heritage, not least because of a conservation plan from 1972. And today the city also is known as a center of public administration. As you can see, I've listed up the city hall and so on. And I will just show you some impressions from the city of Viborg, the old part of the city. And this is the ancient trade road through Viborg. And here, the square in front of the cathedral, which also sometimes gives room for concerts. And then I will tell you a little bit about the policy. We have made a policy in two parts, and it was approved by the City Council last year in 2015. And the one part is the main document, is a policy which must be written in words very shortly and drawn up for the citizens and for the politicians to could tell about what is the policy about. And then we have another one, an appendix, which is more detailed and suited for the work in the administration. Tells a little bit more about what we find as qualities in talking about architecture. And the policy is based on a vision from the ancient Athens, where they told we will leave this city not less and inferior, but bigger and richer than when we came here. And we could translate that into a more daily speak, that a guideline like a project should give more back to the site than it takes. And here you just see the four main focus areas in our policy. I will not go further into them, what the objectives contains. I think that all the intentions are quite alike most architectural policies all over So I would rather concentrate on how we try to turn the words into action, and what the municipality can do to support the work with architectural policy. And to start, I will show some projects, not as a result of the architectural policy, but as an illustration of what we would like to achieve to give more back than to take. This project shows, this is a project on an equal accessibility to historical city centers and cultural heritage that the municipality has completed in cooperation with foundations. A very central square in Viborg, which previously at the same time connected and separated the historical center and the commercial area. In order to improve the accessibility and the consistency, the parking lot has been reduced, and the passage over the square is given free and supported with almost invisible guidelines for such as, for example, blind people. And what we experience, and many have said before, when you plan for people and urban space, you get people and urban space, and occasionally also room for cultural events. Another project I will show you is a project realized in cooperation between the municipality and the local utility supply company and some foundations. Sønæs is an artificial pond for rainwater. It cleans the rainwater and contains and holds back the water by extreme rains. And at the same time, it's combined with a new park, an new urban park. Another solution than the first sketches from the engineers, showing a huge technical plant, rectangular pond on the area, taking up almost the area, and with no interest for other than the supply company. In this cooperation, we have actually managed to improve the qualities of the landscape and the nature of the site compared to the situation before, and that is by placing a huge technical plant. I will show you a short video clip from the release last year. You can find the whole movie on YouTube. It's quite a nice movie. And I hope that the sound perhaps has been a little tuned down, because otherwise you would be prepared for the music. Oh. There it is. So back to the administration. This diagram illustrates how we have changed the approach in discussing projects. A project should, instead of looking into itself and its internal life, pay attention to interact with the surroundings. And this slide is in Danish, so don't worry if you don't understand much of it. With the policy and the appendix, the administration has given the political mandate to discuss architecture and quality in architecture with the property developers. And we have made this dialogue tool a questionnaire. And the meaning is to get the municipality and the property developer into a co-creative process at an early stage, where it is easiest to incorporate changes. And it could be questions like, to what extent does the project fit into the structure and the scale of the site? And to what extent are the facades accommodating and supporting urban life? And in a respectful way, we can together with the developer estimate if a project will give more back than it takes and bring more value to the site. I will give you 2 examples where we have used this dialogue tool. This is a development plan for a former industrial area. It is part of a larger transformation area close to the station in Viborg, where we have made a master plan which, among other things, includes a green corridor. And together with the developer, the plan was improved by taking more care of the spaces between the buildings by defining private and public areas and getting a better coherence between the new blocks and the green corridor. On the other hand, it was very important for the developer to get a certain volume in the project due to economic sustainability. So on the discussion of building heights and density, we came about a solution on a variation of floor numbers going up to 6 floors in 20% of the area and not lifting up all the blocks and make a massive. And the second example shows a property development plan where there were suggested a high-rise building project in a neighborhood of lower city blocks and villas. And the site is a high-altitude area in Viborg where we could benefit of a fine view over the city. Here we discussed with the developer how the high-rise would affect the nearby surroundings. So in the second draft, the developer changed the project into lower terraced houses having the same number of residentials as in the first draft. In both drafts, the developer wanted to give public access through the property and optimize the green space by establishing the parking lot under the train. Shortly, I will mention some other ways that we support, in the municipality, support the architectural policy and keeping the public debate alive. We have an annual day of architecture in Denmark. In Viborg, the municipality provides the practical matters such as communication, coordination of program, etc. And most of the activities are carried out by volunteers as architectural offices, associations, cultural institutions, and so on. We also, in the municipality planning and project processes, use the cultural planning tool, where the citizens get the possibilities to be creative in the urban space. It could be either to test new ideas before they actually are realized, as the left example, or to create urban life and in transformation areas before the development takes place. Or it could be in order to get the public opinion on what to do in the future for this great green area surrounded by abandoned public buildings. We removed the hedges, equalized the terrain with some sand, and organized activities. And the result was a lot of people saying, "Oh, we did not even know that there was a green space here." And we got a lot of valuable comments on how the citizens would like the space to be in the coming renewal. And then I will finish my presentation, because maybe the meaning of architectural quality simply can be explained by these words and drawings that we received from 6-year-old Albert during a public hearing on urban development. And then I think there should be room for all kinds of people in Viborg Baneby. That is why I've drawn a house with many stairs and doors, and then we can also easily get around in the house when we're visiting each other. Thank you.